Hi everybody, Big Guy here. Welcome to Mike's Garage. I want to go back to another story about the service in the Army. I'm going to go back to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, 1969 in the spring. And we went through gas and chemical attack training. Okay, so I always, when I look back at this, it's funny, but it's not funny all at the same time. But what you were taught back then just sticks to you. Well, first we'll start with the gas mask. Okay, so they give you a gas mask. This is your gas mask. You have to know where it is at all times. You never lose it. Always inspect it. Always keep it clean. Yada yada yada. Okay, because it's yours. It's going to save your life. Okay, so we get the gas mask. They tell you how to check the filter. They tell you how to check the flap. So it has to draw air in through the filter, but when you exhale, it goes out through a different port. So there's flaps that let air come in and go out. So you have to make sure that is. So they show you how it works. They show you how to clean it. They show you how to change the filters. They show you how to fix it. Okay. So once they're satisfied, or you're satisfied that it's going to work, okay, because they tell you if you're sure it's going to work, now go fall in over there. So everybody slapped it together, took it apart, you put it back together, you went over there and you stood in a formation. Everybody had to put their gas mask on, and then they gas you with tear gas. So, and you weren't allowed to move, you weren't allowed to run. A couple guys did because they didn't take the time to check the flaps. And when they inhaled, they were sucking in gas. And when they exhaled, they were blowing the air out through the filter, which was completely reversal of what you were supposed to do. So it was pretty funny at the time. So some of these guys were just running, and it just so happened the road they ran down, the path they ran down, was where the cloud of tear gas was going. Because if you stayed there, the gas only stayed there for a couple seconds, and then it just kind of drifted away. But they were running down the road, and that's where the cloud of gas was going. So it was kind of funny at the same time. Okay, you got a taste of it. You see that the gas mask does protect you. Then what you have to do, they have a smaller room that is filled with tear gas. You have to go in, okay, about a half a dozen guys go in. There's a couple drill sergeants in there. And you're in there, you got your gas mask on. They tell you, okay, you have to, you know what, let me move over so you can see the pictures here. It'd be a lot better, entertaining. So after you're in a formation, there's the picture of the formation, and they gas you. And a couple guys did run, like I said. Next, they take you and they put you in this little room. There's about 8 guys fit in there at one time. There's 2 drill sergeants in there. They send you in. You have your gas mask on. Now, you have to take your gas mask off in the room full of tear gas. And you have to say your name, rank, and serial number. And the drill sergeant makes you stand there to make sure you had to breathe. Because you had to get a lung full of tear gas. They wanted you to experience it. So everybody went in a couple at a time, take off your mask, and you weren't allowed to leave till everybody was done. So you had to breathe a couple times, and it was burning your eyes and burning your nose and just had you by the throat. But, they were all there, take it off, screaming at you. If you ever been around a drill sergeant, there was nobody asked you to do anything nice. You were told to do it now. So that's the way that training went. And then after you did that, you were allowed to leave. And everybody just ran out of there coughing and things like that. You were allowed to get your canteen and wipe off your face and try to rinse out your mouth and your throat for all that sting. Pretty nasty stuff, tell you the truth. Tear gas, I don't know, you see people on TV how they're just putting up with it. Maybe they got something to breathe in the tear gas, I don't know. But the next thing they tell you was how to survive a chemical attack. Okay, the first part of this I agreed with. Okay, this was good. You had to have some place below ground you had to hide, and here's a picture of a foxhole. It was just a regular foxhole they had as a demo there. So you had to get in the foxhole. Okay, there's a chemical attack. Other than Agent Orange, okay? But there's a chemical attack, some kind of nerve gas or some kind of nerve agent or something. You're supposed to get your poncho. Everybody had a poncho, okay, in case it rained. So the poncho was going to protect you from the chemicals, and you had to get in the foxhole with your gas mask on. So you crouch down in the foxhole, and you put the poncho over the top of the foxhole to protect you. Okay? So, okay, the chemical comes down, rains on the poncho, it doesn't soak through, you're safe underneath. And if there was any tear gas or any nerve agent, you didn't breathe it in, because the gas mask was supposed to protect you from the chemicals. Okay, that's great. Stay down there for 3-4 minutes, you come out, it's just like Agent Orange, buddy. It was everywhere. I mean, anything you touched had nerve gas on it. It had that stuff would burn your skin and all that. And they told you, well, when you get out of the foxhole, don't touch anything. Okay? So you're supposed to have all your stuff with you, your weapons, your ammo. You put your gas mask on, you cover yourself with the poncho. Now, the best part is if there's a nuclear attack, okay? If there's a case of a nuclear attack, you do the same thing, only you don't use the poncho, because the 1500 degree nuclear flash will melt the poncho right on top of you. So you'll be like wrapped in plastic, okay, like a shrink wrap kind of a thing. So don't use that. You had to use the canvas from your tent. So everybody had half of a tent, and you had that with you in your backpack. So you had, okay, nuclear attack, you see the explosion go off, you had like 4 seconds to get in the foxhole, get half of the shelter out, the canvas, and put the canvas over you, because the canvas would protect you from the 1500 degree flash of the nuclear explosion, okay? Maybe it would, I don't know, I'm glad I had never had to find out, okay? But I figure a burning piece of canvas on top of you is better than a molten piece of plastic. But they never told you what to do when your gas mask melted to your face in a 1500 degree flash. So it's pretty funny when you think about it, you look back at it, because you're not going to survive that. I mean, if it's 3-4 miles away and there's a nuclear explosion, I think everything's pretty much cooked. So that was pretty funny. So we got through that. I guess we spent a day, maybe a day and a half, doing chemical warfare, how to prepare for it, how to protect yourself from it, and how to keep fighting during the attack. Because they said if you got infected with it, you had to keep fighting. There was nowhere to run. You know, you only had so many hours left or so many days left. You had to keep fighting. There was no sense running and trying to get help, because you were doomed anyway. So that's the lesson you learned. Don't run away. Even if you're seriously hurt, you stay there and you keep fighting, because it'll help everybody out if you just stay there. So I hope that's helpful. I hope it wasn't in the way of too many of the photos there. And thanks for watching Mike's Garage. I like telling the stories. I got so many more to try and get pictures to go along with it and everything. Still trying to find some of the guys. I got a lot of the pictures I'm going through, trying to find the names and everything to go with them. So, and I need more subscribers. If you get a chance, hit that subscribe button. Always good to get the comments from the guys. I got a couple regular guys. I really enjoy hearing from them. You know who you are. Okay? Thanks again for everybody for watching. Stay safe out there. See you next time.